Hey everybody, it's Scott Stoltz of Create Your Great, and I'm about to set out on a short journey for the next 20-25 minutes where I'm recording, I'm talking to you on Facebook Live, and I'm recording a video through Facebook Live to share some input on career-related questions and career-related topics that come up often. And for those of you who know me already, I am a career coach. I help you love your career. I have a podcast. I have the Create Your Great podcast, which I'm recording for down here. You can't see it, but I do. I even have my microphone set up. I'm so excited because one day soon, it has been, speaking of creating your great, I have this vision and dream when I move into my next place that is also going to serve as an office where I have my setup with my microphone hanging on a correct stand in front of me so that I can do all my videos and I can record my podcast in my home office and I don't have to worry about being somewhere special. But I am going live. I am recording a podcast that I am going to use to share some direction, some guidance and input on career-related topics. And I want to ask everybody in my Scott Stoltz community and my Create Your Great community, our Create Your Great community, to share as you learn more about the weekly broadcasts I do, both via podcast and on video, to do two things. Send in questions to me in any means, direct email, through social media, through Facebook, and ask me, and if you talk to me over text regularly, send them through text, questions that you would like to see talked about on a weekly show that are career related, that are going to help you and others you know create your great. I'm here for you. This is another platform in which we can share. I want to not just talk about topics that I feel I want to talk about. I want to offer answers, support, and guidance on questions that I get regularly from people that I meet with. And now that I meet with more and more people every week, and there's a lot of overlap, and I got a few questions already laid out, all questions that I've heard in the last 7 to 10 days. And I brought a few to this first episode, which I'm recording down here for my podcast. I'm recording here on Facebook because I want to share feedback with everybody every week. And I want to ask you to help me get this out to the community, okay? Let's get this out to the community. Invite more people to the Facebook Create Your Great group page. And every week I'll be posting there on my Scott Stoltz page, as well as on YouTube and LinkedIn, some short videos with answers to these questions, because it's all about helping you and everybody else who are out there taking action and making career change, making career transition, starting your business, becoming an entrepreneur. You're already an entrepreneur and you want to up-level your career. Let's get all this stuff broader. Let's get it out to more people and help. And for those of you who catch me tonight or even just a recorded session, send in your questions. I will make sure I get to them even the following week. I will be recording these every week. The live part is actually almost a little bit irrelevant. And the main mission for me is to get these videos and get some answers out there. So there's a lot to share right now that I'm getting off my chest at the top of this episode. This is episode number 1 from home. You will probably, like episode 45, episode 65, episode 100, you'll see my home office set up by that time, and we'll all be smiling at my first, second, third edition from home. But it doesn't matter, right? Because this is what we talk about with creating our great. It's getting out there, it's doing the work, it's serving and helping other people, being there for other people. And I've been getting so much good feedback and, more importantly, so many good questions about the things that people like yourself, people who are in other transitions and starting a business, creating something different in their career, that come up all the time. And I want to continue to find ways to give everybody feedback so that you all can keep moving forward and you have a lot of support systems. It's not just Scott Stoltz, it's not just Create Your Great, it's not just teaching to lead, but I want to help in whatever way I can. All right, so let's get cracking. Spread the word throughout the Create Your Great and Beyond community. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I know those of you who are in my communities and we're working together, and just when you check in once in a while, I really appreciate it. It's awesome. It's a huge help, and it's going to help us grow. It's going to help us impact more people, which I'm really excited about. So I'm going to check out and see if I can see myself on Facebook here. Maybe, maybe not. And I just want to make sure everything's going all right. And if you have questions, send them in to me. Oh, I do see myself. All the better. Send them in to me and send them live if you see this now, or send them later. I want to answer questions. What is affecting you? Okay. This weekly video and recording series is for you all, is for anybody out there who's interested in getting this kind of help. What do you want help with? What do you want feedback, support, guidance on in your career? Okay, so let's dive into a couple things, and these are some topics that I've got, and I'll revisit some of these. Some of them are very common that I'm going to want to share a lot about over the course of several weeks. So one of the first ones, and I get this a lot, is what do I do? Okay, what do I do when I'm in a job but my head and my heart are in something else? What do we do when we're in a job and our head and our heart are in something else? And that is so common. That's even common for people who haven't started taking action yet. I mean, think about it. There are so many people out there who are not fulfilled, who are not experiencing joy in their job, and their mind, their hearts are on something else. That could be you. It could be you. If that's you, get in touch with me. And if you don't want to share it in the comments here on Facebook, DM me directly and know that I'm here to support you. I know I have some guidance that I can give you right off the bat that will help you. And let me know what your pain points are so that I can be there for you. But this is a common one. What do I do when I'm in a job and my head and my heart are on something else? Okay. So number one, and again, remember, a lot of people are afflicted with this. Number one is always be sure to find something in your current role that you connect with, that you enjoy and like doing. And I promise you there's something in there. Do the work, take a few minutes, and because what happens is when we're thinking about other opportunities, when we're thinking about other jobs, our next opportunity, our next job, starting that business that we've been thinking about for so long, we're constantly ruminating on that, and we're not focusing on the good that we have right there at our fingertips. And I've been in these situations. I know firsthand how it feels. And so what we need to do, and it's what I did in various junctures of my corporate career, is I always sat back, and especially as I got later in my career, in my last few years before I went to start my business on Create Your Great and becoming a career coach, where I help you live your career, is I would think, okay, what are the good things in this job that I can connect with, that help me? And number one for me was working with people, either in my team or partners. And that might be one for you. What people, as an example, what people do you work with that you get a lot out of, that you gain from, that you learn from, that you like, or who you like collaborating with? Find the one thing in your job right now. I don't care if you feel like you're going to be gone in a month, 6 months, or a year. There is something, I promise you, in your job that you have that you can connect with. And it could be something, even if it's not something you really, really like. And by the way, I found a lot of fulfillment. Even when my head and my heart started to go into my future endeavors, I got a lot of fulfillment out of the people that I worked with, some of them, and connecting with them, helping them, collaborating with them, building and delivering projects with them. I really took a lot. I would go into work and I would get through long 9, 10-hour days, and many of which were extremely hectic and often stress-filled. And I always sat back when I could, when I had a moment. Sometimes it was just on my car ride home, and thought about a couple of people that I had a good experience with at work, that I knew we were both benefiting from each other, that I was learning from, or hopefully they were learning from me. So think about one or two, even two things that you connect with, that you like about your job. And if there's not anything that you like, my backup and my next point is this: find and think about something that you will learn from. Okay? Something you will learn from. Because just like I assure you, there has to be something in your current job, even if your head and your heart have moved on to your next opportunity, there's something that you can learn from. In almost everything we do, that's why all of our experiences are really good and really helpful. There's always something we can take away and learn from the job that we have, from the tasks that we're doing, from the activities that we have, from the career that we have. I mean, my last job, did I love it? Actually, let me go back to 12, 13 years ago when I worked in technology. I didn't really love what our products were about. I didn't love what we were delivering. but I did learn a ton. I was managing implementations at client sites, and I learned a lot by being at different client sites all over the country, seeing how different organizations ran, how they managed projects, how they managed teams of people, what their culture was like. So even though the technology and the product that my company, a software company, was delivering and working on, I was in this industry for 6 years. And there were junctures where I really liked everything about it, but there were times when I didn't, and I didn't really care about our product. But I always said, and I knew this back then, I'm very fortunate, and I recognized this back then, that there is something that I can learn in this job. And I've said this before with a lot of people that I work with or share with, or when I'm doing a talk. Life and our career is not about finding your passion. It is not, and I'm going to talk about that before this wraps down this episode. It's about doing different things, trying different things, learning what we're good at. Okay, learning what we're good at, learning what interests us. Do something that interests you. And if you're in a job that you're not really happy or fulfilled with, find that one nugget that really interests you and that you can learn from. Okay, so let's recap. I told you, find something you really like or enjoy. And there really should be something that you like or enjoy in any job. Even if you are a cashier and you're a people person and you like people and you're sick of the job, you're sick of your boss, you don't like your coworkers, you don't like the environment anymore, you like saying good morning or good afternoon or thank you to a customer. You like connecting and smiling and making eye contact with a customer if you're a people person. That's one nugget of joy of something that you like that you can take out of that job. So find something that you like or enjoy, and I really hope there's something that you like and enjoy, but even if you don't, then find something that you can learn from. Okay? Find something in that job that you can learn from, because the last point about this particular topic in question is when we start to think about our next career move, our business that we want to create, our next job, the job that we're going to create for ourselves or transition to, yes, of course, it's understandable that your mind, your heart are thinking about it a lot. But you're in that current job for a reason. It happened for a reason. And remember, you own it. You're accountable. You are accountable. So own it all the way through and say, this is what I can learn from. This is what, even if it's a job you don't really care for or like, you can still learn from it. Even the couple of times that I had jobs that I did not care for, I learned a lot. And all those skills and that knowledge that I built up, it serves me well. It served me really well. I took all that experience and I use nuggets of that all the time now in my business. I used it when I was at CVS Health. I was using things that I learned when I was in technology 7, 8, 9, 10 years before that. And it really helped me out. So there's always something you can get out of a job. And one really nuanced point to that, and this comes up commonly too, because sometimes people will say, I feel bad, my head and my heart are not in my current job and I feel guilty or I feel bad. And I understand that too. We're human, we're wired for that. We're emotional creatures, we're not robots. We have feelings and we have to give ourselves permission and allow ourselves to feel that way. But what I remind people of is, and it's hard work, but you can do this. I know because I've done it and I know a lot of people who do it and do it really well. You step back and you think about, from an emotional standpoint, what is serving me right now? What is serving me well? And I'm in a job, I'm getting paid, I'm learning what I need to learn or learning additional skills, and I'm going to make the most of this opportunity, and I'm not going to dwell or wallow in the emotional side of it. Step back and look at it for what it is. It's a stepping stone. It's a chapter in your life. It's a journey, or it's part of your journey, and you're learning from it. And, always give your all. Don't sell your employer short. Don't, end around your boss or, become a bad coworker or teammate to the people that you work with. Give it your all. Go in and work hard every day. And as long as you're giving it your all, and yeah, your mind might be on your future endeavor a little bit. You might leave a couple days early to go on an interview or to start the process of starting your next endeavor. That's okay. It does not make you a bad person. Just work as hard as you can when you're there and learn and grow. Focus on what you like. Don't dwell on the things that you dislike or even hate. And know that it's serving you well for the future. And try and take some of the emotion out of it, okay? Feel it, but then process it out and move forward with it in here, but don't let it screw you up here. Don't get that negative self-talk, excuse me, where you're saying to yourself, I'm a bad person because, I'm not 100% committed to this job. Businesses know and understand. Most businesses know. You don't have to knowingly lie all the time, but most people know. I mean, these are jobs. You're out there working. Now, if you don't own the business, it's different. When you lead people, when you manage people, that's a different topic I'll save for another week. When you lead and manage people, you definitely owe a certain high level of commitment to them. And we'll talk about that one of these weeks. And you have to be completely committed and checked in at all times. So that's a little bit of a different topic. But if you're an individual contributor, focus on what you're learning and what you like. Give your best every day and be comfortable with that. Give yourself that permission and cut out the emotion. It's work, it's business. You're doing the best you can, and you always do that. You have integrity. If you have integrity and you carry yourself that way every week, chances are you're doing a really good job. And don't let that negative self-talk get into your head where you're thinking, I'm a bad person because I'm looking ahead. No, you're not. You're human. All right? If you have more questions or comments on that, send them to me anytime. I'm happy to break that down further with you offline on a future episode. It's a common situation for many people. All right, and there's some nuggets that I just shared with you and takeaways that will hopefully help you if you're in that situation where you're in a job but you're thinking ahead already to the next opportunity. All right. So my next topic in question that I get commonly or routinely in this field, in this area as a career coach and as I help people create the career of their dreams is an approach to networking. Is what is the best approach or what's a general approach to networking? Now there's a lot of nuances, there's a lot of pieces, there's a lot of components to effective networking. And this is not a webinar on networking, so I'm not going to go through all of it. And there's a lot of things that I share and teach. And I will bring some of this in from time to time in this episode and in other forums. But I'll share a couple of basics with you tonight. Number one, all right, you always want to be strategic when it comes to networking. Always be strategic. So what do I mean? You need to be deliberate and intentional about what you're going to do and how you're spending your time. Don't go to events for the sake of going to events. Even when it's a shiny object and it looks like it's a big event, it's at a nice venue, there's going to be 50, 60, 100 people there. Oh, let me go run to this networking event and I'll feel good in the moment. I'll feel like I'm doing something of substance. Well, the reality is you might, and you might meet some good people, but you might not. It might be a complete waste of time, and a lot of people make the mistake. And I've done it before. I've done it in my networking approach, and I've done it in my job search, and I'll hit on that in a minute too. And we'll talk about that another time too, because it's a great topic. We can't approach things like networking and job searching from a quantity, busy mindset. Quantity, I'm going to go to 4 events this week. Busy, I'm going to keep myself busy by going to networking events, and I'm going to sit home the rest of the time on Indeed or Monster. I don't even know if Monster still exists, to be honest with you, or Indeed.com and apply for job after job. That doesn't mean it's productive. It doesn't mean there's any substance behind that. You have to have a strategy. So what is a strategy when it comes to networking? You want to know what the event, be very clear on what the event is for. All right, don't just be grabbed by a title that you see in Eventbrite or Meetup and think, oh, this is going to be cool, or it's at a nice venue, or there's going to be a lot of people there. Know what you're signing up for, okay? Know what you're signing up for, and know what the intention and the objective of that event is. That's number one. Number two, just as important, know what kind of people are going to be there. Are there going to be other job searchers there? Are there going to be people who have their own business who are going to be trying to and attempting to impart and project their business, their services, their sales on you? Because that might not be what you want. In fact, it probably isn't what you want. You're not out to collect business cards. You're not out to pass your business card to 20 or 30 people. You are out to make authentic, substantive connections with a handful of people. And in order to do that the right way, steps 1 and 2 are to understand what the objective of that event is and what kind of people will be there. And the capper to this, and to this guidance, is do they align with your goals? Okay? So always ask yourself, when you're going to go to an event, do I know what it's for? Do I know what the objective is? Do I know what kind of people are going to be there? And most importantly, when I do know those questions, do they align with my goals? So if you're starting a business and you are selling widgets, are the people who are going to be at that event, and is the value and knowledge and information that's going to be shared with that at that event going to help you bring your business from here to here? Is it going to help you become a better widget salesperson? Is it going to help you be or create a bigger impact in that business that you're creating? Are the people who are going to be there aligned with your goals? Are they people that you will gain from, that you can serve as well? All right, a lot of people make that mistake, and I've been in that rut before where I just thought because I was going to something that there was meaning behind it, and often there's not. Often there's not meaning behind a lot of the events that we go to because we don't know the objective and we don't know what kind of people are going to be there. And here's the thing, we might go and have a couple of really good conversations, nice conversations, conversations that make us feel good in the moment. That's nice. But, as humans too, a common mistake we make is we get suckered all the time into things that make us feel good, into short-term gain and pleasure. All the time. We feel good out there, a nice conversation. And listen, I'm not saying that a good connection that you make and a good conversation is worthless. What I'm saying is be very mindful and careful of, because it's easy to get sucked into going to events like these and you have a couple of good conversations that are mostly small talk, or maybe you even share your backgrounds and your careers, but where's it going? The important thing is, where is that relationship going to go? And of course you're going to connect and meet with people over time when you're creating a business or transitioning your job that are one-time meetups and they don't necessarily materialize, of course. But minimize those. And the only way you minimize them is by being mindful and intentional and deliberate in how you spend your time. All right? Don't spray up against the wall with events and people and see what sticks. Be very intentional about who you connect with and where you're spending your time. And get around the people who are aligned with your goals that you can impact, and in turn they impact you and help you in your growth, in your business, in your transition, in your career. Because we really, it happens all the time where we get suckered into feeling, oh, I'm at this event, it feels good to be here. It feels good to be surrounded by a lot of people. It's a nice room, they have hors d'oeuvres, there might be cocktails being served, there's a great speaker, and it's just, it's a rush. And we have those chemicals in our brains that are giving us, I think it's dopamine for this one, that rush and that feeling in the moment where, oh, this feels great. I really had a good couple hours here. And maybe it wasn't a bad couple of hours, but I would always challenge you, is it really serving your higher needs? Focus is important, whether you're starting a business or transitioning or creating a new career for yourself. It's really important to be focused, and you be focused by knowing what events you're going to. All right? And the other thing that I'm going to share tonight about networking, in addition to knowing the event, the purpose of it, the people who will be there, and being very intentional as you talk to people, is make it about others. All right? So this is the second part. That's really a skill and an art. And I'll talk a lot more about this in this episode and in other forums. And if you work with me, you're always going to hear about this. It's about other people. And believe me, I promise you, you can go to events, you can network, and you can know exactly what the objective of the event is and what kind of people or who will be there. And be very intentional and deliberate, and make it about other people. You can bring those two together. That's, by the way, that's where a lot of emotional intelligence comes in. Another topic for another night. I had an amazing workshop recently on emotional intelligence. Amazing because of the audience and the topics and the questions and the things we talked about. Is it so relevant to our careers? And good EQ, good emotional intelligence, can take you from a good career to a great career. And being able to bring together intention and being deliberate with how you spend your time with making things about others is a great art that will help up-level your career tremendously And if you're starting a business, if you're job searching, if you're creating a new job, it will benefit you tremendously. Okay? So what does it mean to make it about other people? Don't go into an event in the mindset that you're going to talk about yourself for the next 2 hours. Listen, ask people about themselves, have them tell their stories to you. All right? Listen to what people have to say. I use this all the time, and some of you have heard me say, a great opener at an event, at a networking event, when you meet somebody new, at a specific type of function is, hey, what brought you here tonight? Hey, how you doing? What brought you here tonight? Don't ask, what do you do? Don't go into, hi, my name's Scott, I'm a career coach, and go on for 5 minutes all about me. Most people will shut right down. Hey, what brought you here tonight? Oh, really? And then chances are they'll say something that's going to make you even more curious, and you're going to ask more questions and let them share with you. And hopefully they're a good storyteller. Hopefully they have good intentions. Hopefully they do something that resonates or clicks with you. If it doesn't, that's okay. At the right time, in the right moment, a few moments later, just nice to meet you. I'm gonna go around and say hi to a few other people and whatnot, but I really appreciate your time. Thanks for chatting. I really enjoyed talking to you. And you move on. But make it about other people. You're not there just for yourself. And if you go in with the mindset of I'm here to learn about others, because we always want to have that mindset of learning and growth. We always want to be of the mindset where I'm going to learn from this event, from this experience, from this thing that I'm doing. Even when I do a workshop or do a talk, I go in with two mindsets. It's simple. I'm there for everybody else who's in the audience. I'm there for them. That's my number one mindset. And my number two mindset is I'm going to learn from this experience. Even if I do the majority of the talking, I am going to learn from this experience. And those two mindsets do a number. Number one, they ease all anxiety that you have. Even if if you consider yourself an introvert and you don't like meeting people, trust me, in a networking type of atmosphere or event, and it's hard for you to talk to people, just go up to somebody and say, hi, how you doing? My name's Scott. What brought you here tonight? That's it. That's all you have to do. And then let them share. And the conversation naturally grows from there. And guess what? You're listening. You're making it about them. They will, and hopefully, majority of the time, the people that you're connecting with, oh, by the way, if you're at the right event that aligns with your goals, and you know the type of people who will be there, chances are they're going to have something that might interest you. Imagine that. They might have something that interests you, and then you just hop on along for that ride, and you have a great conversation. And you turn in, and we'll talk at other times about, how's a great way to present yourself? How do you want to tighten and get that, I'm not a fan of the elevator pitch terminology, but just, how do you present yourself? How do you communicate with people that you want to align with? How do you communicate and connect with people who are healthy for your career, aligned with your goals? Because there's an art to that too, that involves a lot of emotional intelligence. All right? So really be deliberate and intentional, and go in with the mindset of making it about the other person. And listen, and it'll serve you really well, because it'll help you understand if you're looking for potential partners, if you're looking for potential clients or customers, even if you're looking for potential employers. Think about it. If you're in a transition, if you're job searching, it could really benefit you to listen to what other people have to say about what they're looking for. Or you might meet somebody who does the job that you want, who has a job similar to the kind of jobs that you're applying for, and you'll gain knowledge and understanding and perspective and experience from them, by listening to them and let them share about their work experience and what they do. And it could really, you might learn something in a conversation like that that'll pay off big time in an interview, or in how you present yourself to a client in your business. So let's listen and grow, okay? Let's make it about other people. Don't force your business card on anybody. Only give your business card if you know the other person wants to connect with you and wants to talk to you again. It's very off-putting. I shut right down when somebody comes and offers me a business card. I'm always polite, professional, appropriate, But if somebody's coming at me and they're making it all about them and they want to talk all about their business or their life or their career and they just want to throw their business card at me and I didn't tee it up that way and I didn't open the window and tee it up in such a way, I kind of shut down and I'll listen for a little bit, but then I'll move on. So think about it from the other person's perspective. So those are just a couple things that can help you when it comes to networking. And then lastly, I just want to end with this, and as we wind down our episode 1 of how to create your great. Okay? How to create your great weekly video series. By the way, throw this in as a podcast, which I'm recording right now. And ask questions, send them my way, tell other people about this. Please reach out to me anytime. I really want to grow the Create Your Great community, even just right here in a Facebook group, something that anybody can have access to if they're truly interested, so that we can all, learn from and continue to help and support other people. So many, it's to the point now, I kid you not, it's almost daily. And it's partly because I'm at events and going out and putting myself out there in a way as a career coach, and I'm at events where I'm meeting people like this. But there's barely a day that goes by that I'm not talking to somebody about their career and about some of the things that are difficult in their career and their life. And it's really powerful stuff. It's a big part of our life. So help me spread the word. Send me your questions. I'm here for you guys. And I want to end with this, something that's a big topic, and I'll talk about it in bits, and one day maybe I'll devote a whole episode to this. But, be careful about the stories that you tell yourself or that you allow in your mind. Be careful with them. And by that I mean, just little things, little sayings like finding your passion. We read and hear that a lot. I still see it all the time online in blogs and little articles. I've seen it in books and finding your passion sounds great on the surface, but really think about what you're doing in the moment too. And life really is not, this is more of a belief. There's no science behind this, and I don't have academic study results on this, but I really believe this through my experiences and my principles and how I live and the work that I do now as a career coach. It's not about finding your passion. Passion's great, and passion has a role in what we do, but you want to do things you're interested in, and in the process, you want to learn what you're good at, learn what you're not good at, oh, by the way, learn what you enjoy doing, and learn how you provide value to others. And for many of us, there's so many ways we can do that. There's hardly a job that I've had. From the moment I graduated college and I got a job at a newspaper, which is what I wanted, and what I studied in college and what I always planned to do, to now as a career coach, which is what I wanted and created. But everything in between, for 20 years, from the time in a newspaper as a sports writer to the time now as a career coach and Create Your Great, every job I had and everything I did came because I tried something different. I did things that I was interested in. I came from a learning mindset. I connected with people who gave me and presented me with opportunity. And in the course of doing all those jobs, I learned what I was good at. I learned what I wasn't good at. I learned what I enjoyed doing, what lit me up, what got me excited, what parts of each job that I had did excite me. Did I get excited about in the morning about going to work, and other parts that I didn't get excited about. And you put yourself in position to learn those things as you go, and you can create a business or a job around what you're good at, around how you best serve other people, around the things that you enjoy doing, and around and predicated on how you provide value to other people. How you provide value. It is not about finding your passion or lucking into a job. Passion is great, and we want to be passionate about. I'm passionate about many things that I do. Guess what? I've been passionate, or I was passionate about certain things that I did in each of my last jobs. But if I was 25 years old and I was living by the mantra, find my passion, do you think at that time, or even when I was 30 and 35 and a little more mature and with a little more life experience, do you think that finding my passion would have equated to being a project manager with CVS Health, would have equated to being an implementations manager with Essential Software, would have equated to being a senior manager in print procurement for CVS Health? No, I don't think so. I doubt that I would have come up with any of those job titles, those roles. Now, part of it is because that was the path that was created for me, and I tried and I did those jobs. And you can make a case that I could have held out or done something different that I would have been technically more passionate about. But that's not always how life works. It's not how life works. Often we find jobs because of people we know, because of opportunities at the right time, if we're putting ourselves in position, if we're doing the hard work, and we go in and we put our interest out there. What am I interested in trying, or what am I interested in doing? And you learn. So shift that mindset. Get those stories out of your head about being lucky to have a good job and finding your passion or doing what you love. You know, those all sound great on the surface, but they just don't serve us well. They really don't serve us well in our career and in our life. Even when your regular life, outside of your work, it sounds good, it feels good, but we don't want feel-goods. And I don't give out Band-Aids. Do what's of substance and meaning, and have that mindset of growing and learning in a way where you're understanding better what you're good at, you're understanding what you enjoy, you understand what you don't enjoy doing, and you understand how you provide value. Because to wrap this topic, when you understand those things, and I promise you, even though I don't have scientific data on this, I promise you, if you understand those things and all the tentacles that come off of them, you can create a dream job, a dream career, especially in today's world. You can create a job, a career that you love and that brings you all the fulfillment you want when you understand those things. And if I took some of the basics that I have around loving to help people, about helping people take ownership, accountability, leadership for ourselves, service, creating videos, I can probably think of, in the course of a couple of days, 100 different jobs that I could have where I can do things like that encompass and embody those things that I just shared. I happen to be a career coach. I happen to help you love your career. And I created this for myself. You can do the same thing. Learn all that I just shared. Get that story out of your head about finding your passion, because you'll talk to me in 10 years, you'll still be looking for it. Learn what you're good at and how you provide value, and then create it. Don't wait anymore, create it. Okay? All right, I'm going to wrap up this edition, episode 1, How to Create Your Great. Thanks for checking this out, whether you're listening to it later on podcast, on watching and listening on video. Send in your questions, please. What is keeping you up at night about your career? What do you want to learn more about? What do you want to get better at? What helpful tips do you have? Send in things that have served you well in your career, and I'll make sure to share them on this video. And let's get this out there. Share, Create Your Great. Okay? Share my pages, share Create Your Great. Let people know this is a place they can come and learn more about how we create the career that we love. Because I promise you, it's very doable. All right? Thanks for tuning in. I'll have another episode for you next week, and I really appreciate all the support out there. I'll see you all soon.